Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. This is about the conception and planets at the time of menstrual cycle. Very interesting subject dealt in Jataka Parijata. Delayed marriage has become very common in the changing socio-economic condition. The socio-economic conditions are changing, and accordingly everything has to happen, and nothing to regret about it or appreciate about it. It has to be accepted. It has become necessary for both the boy and girl to be financially strong before getting into wedlock. 30 years for the girl seems to have become very common for marriage. This also have reduced the age difference between the boy and girl. Of course, the age difference has nothing to do with the happy married life as well, the progeny. Just I have mentioned it, that's all. It's a passing remarks. Even after the marriage, it is very common to give a gap of at least 2 years to get child. Another factor is meddling with the natural menstrual cycle for various requirements and needs, using the medical aids available. Postponing, preponing, it's happening regularly. After such a gap, when the couple really want to have a child, and when they fail, they approach the gynecologist for help. Yes, modern medical science has remedies only when there is a problem in the reproductive system of either of the couple. There are instances where all the parameters are perfectly all right in the couple, but conception is not taking place. Yes, in such condition, in addition to such a medical help, we find astrological text suggesting certain planetary positions to help the conception. One such astrological text is Sri Vidya Upasana's Jataka Parijata, which has a separate chapter on Nisheka. The meaning is fertilization. Sri Vidya Upasana is said to have been born between 1425 and 1450 Christian era in Mysore. Not much is known about the author and the scholar, but the first stanza in Jataka Parijata reads that his work is the epitome of what is said by Garga, Parashara and others, and hence establishes the authenticity of Jataka Parijata. It is not somebody who wrote that. There is an authenticity to accept Jataka Parijata. Shloka number 16 in 3rd chapter throws light on the planetary disposition at the time of menstruation actually, and time of copulation. Both are dealt there. The original shloka from Jataka Parijata is here with, you can see on the screen. Moon governs fluid matter of a woman, whereas Mars signifies the blood. A certain disposition of these planets during menstrual cycle promises the conception. That's what Jataka Parijata talks about. The author of Jataka Parijata tells in the verse number 13 that the planetary conjunctions fail to give result. Wonderful. With regard to people void of virility. That means there should be medical parameters should be all right. That's what he wants to communicate. He compares such situation very poetically to that of the moonbeam and the blind. There's a wonderful moon and blind cannot see that. He compares that. Where there are medical problems in couple, he compares to that. There's a moonbeam that blind cannot see that. Virility here refers to both men and women, and this needs no explanation. Let us get back to the reading of verse number 16, which is very important for this discussion. It reads like this. If a woman menses set in when the moon in an Anupachaya place aspected by Mars, they become favorable to conception and not otherwise. He very clearly says, moon shall be in Anupachaya place from the woman's chart, from the woman's birth chart Lagna. Then only it becomes favorable to conception, otherwise it's not so. That is about a menstrual cycle. Then further he says, after the cycle, the husband should sow the seed when the moon occupies an Upachaya house. See, an Upachaya for menstrual cycle set on, and Upachaya house for conception, copulation, and is aspected by Jupiter. So it has two parts here. Menstrual cycle should set in when moon is in Anupachaya place. Anupachaya is other than 3, 6, 10, 11, all other 8 houses. And should be aspected by Mars. That is for menstrual cycle. For copulation, to make it really to conceive, the same moon should occupy Upachaya house. That is 3, 6, 10, 11 from Lagna of the woman, and should be aspected by Jupiter. These are the two conditions. One for menstrual cycle, what is the planetary position, particularly moon and Mars, and what is the copulation time for with reference to moon and Jupiter. Then he further reads that such a copulation shall not be on objectionable periods of time. There are objectionable periods and dates, these mentioned in our classical text, which prohibits the copulation. Yes. To apply this sloka, what is needed is the birth chart of the woman. Without that, nothing could be done. Referring to the birth chart, moon should be transiting in Anupachayas. That is from Lagna 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 12. Any one of the houses. Moon should be transiting from her Lagna, and that transit should be aspected by Mars. That is the time the menstrual cycle sets in. There is very much likely the conception is favorable for conception. One should check the date of onset of menstrual cycle to see whether these conditions are fulfilled. If not fulfilled, they should resort to once again what they have done before to postpone the cycle. They should do same thing they should meddle with cycle by postponing and preponing to achieve that the moon transits in 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 12, any of the houses, and Mars aspects it. It cannot happen in just 1 month. It may take 2-3 months to get into such a moon and Mars conjunction combination. Possible. First time they postpone for 2-3 days, then some more days like that, and within 2-3 months they get this particular place where moon will be in 1, 2, 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 12. There are so many houses, so easy to find out. And Mars aspect also is very good. He can aspect moon by his 4th, 7th, 8th aspects, so easy. It's possible to find out, to make it happen. As what they did before to postpone the natural menstrual cycle, they want to make same thing here to coincide with the moon and Mars combination, as said in Shloka 16 of the Jataka Parijata. Once that is achieved, the copulation shall take place when moon in Upachayas. That is, you should be 3, 6, 10, 11 from the woman's birth chart Lagna, and also aspected by Jupiter. My humble experience speaks, if Jupiter aspect is there, the birth of a son and birth of a good son is expected. Otherwise also, after the menstrual cycle, as per the moon-Mars aspect, the conception may take place. It's possible. And the third point and last point is, in the sloka, is avoiding copulation on objectionable periods. These objectionable periods generally are the following stars. That is Bharani, Kritika, Ardra, Purvashada and Purva Bhadrapada stars are to be avoided. They are not meant for copulation, for conception. So also Chaturthi and Ashtami Tithis and Sankramana and other sacred days, fasting days, birthdays and their previous days. If one wants to know the objectionable periods, they may refer to Muhurta Shastra. In Muhurta Shastra, all these objectionable dates, periods are given elaborately. Those days should be avoided. Here, I explain a demo chart of a live person and also today's planetary disposition. The demo chart is of a woman. The ascendant, that's Lagna, is Aries. Today, moon is transiting in 4th from Lagna, in Cancer, okay, Kataka. 4th is a Anupachaya Sthana from Lagna, Aries, correct? And now, because Mars in Makara, he aspects moon in Kataka. One more important thing today is Mars in exaltation and moon is in own house. It's a wonderful aspect. This aspect of Mars on moon is started from today 2 p.m. That is 2nd April 2 p.m. and continue till 6th of April up to 5 p.m. During this period, if the menstrual cycle sets in, there is a possibility of conception of that particular chart. During these days, moon is very much transiting in the Anupachaya Sthanas, because between 2nd and 6th, moon will be in 4th and 5th only. 4th and 5th from Lagna, they are the Anupachaya Sthanas. That is 4th and 5th from Janma Lagna. If the onset of cycle takes place from today till 6th April, chances for conception are very good. But moon in Upachayas, the second condition for copulation, 3, 6, 10, 11 and aspected by Jupiter during the fertile period is not seen. But still, as I said before, the conception is possible. And This is the information I want to pass on, so that those are medically fit and having some problem which she cannot conceive, they can adopt this method of Moon-Mars aspect by switching over their menstrual cycle. And my humble experience tells that there are many such instances were very much successful also. Definitely successful, provided the medical records are good. That's what I want to convey. Thank you for listening to me. Loka samastha sukhino bhavantu. Samasta sanmangalani bhavantu. Om shantihi shantihi shantihi.